We began our trip in a time of prayer on the Mexico side of the wall. There's a cross that stands directly in front of the wall, and it has thousands of little pink and purple ribbons all over it, and on each ribbon is a name that represents a person who has died making this journey, trying to save a better life. This memorial really made me understand immigration on a personal level. These are real people who have left families, they left their children, they've left their lives, parents, and their communities, and now they're gone. We prayed in silence for understanding, compassion, and discernment, but it was really impossible to ignore this enormous wall that stood in front of us. There was harsh wind that was blowing, and in the back of everybody's heads there was this knowledge that at that very, very moment there were people out in the desert that would also likely meet their death, and their names would be added to that cross. The second very powerful moment, it was very spiritual again, was my experience in walking the migrant trails in the desert. We went out with a group. There's a rehabilitation for alcohol and drugs facility, and those guys, one of their jobs is that they go and they fill water tanks. It's sort of like the last stop before folks cross the wall. So they're out there simply providing water for people who have already, we're still in Mexico, they've already undergone a very long journey as it was. We drove a good distance out of the city into the desolate Sonoran Desert where many migrants attempt to jump the wall. The terrain is harsh. It has sand, brush, and other desert animals. As we drove through the landscape on this really difficult to navigate terrain, my mind wanders. I thought of what it would take to make this journey. We saw footprints in the sand of groups that had already crossed through. And the desert feels almost haunted, knowing that there are people around you, all over, who you can't see. They're hiding, and they're on their journey. We encountered a lot of trash that they've left, and some of the washes that make good protection from the elements. Empty bags of potato chips, Coke cans. We saw a half-used jar of mayonnaise in the middle of the desert. They're all remnants of people who had passed through on this journey, but they're really ill-prepared for the journey that they're about to take. After we filled the water tanks, it was the last stop, we ran into a group of migrants. I think there were about 7 of them, and they were ready to cross over. That was what they were doing out there. They were sort of huddled up. They had one blanket between all of them and a few little day packs, and it's really, they say it's like a 3 to 5 day walk to Tucson if you make it over the fence. And these people were clearly ill-equipped for a journey like that. I mean, if I were going to go climb Pikes Peak do a 5-day trip, I would have gear with me. So it's scary, and it's very sad. They were all really young, probably in their teens and their 20s. There were 2 women, one of whom said she was pregnant. One of the guys had piercings all over, and his English was impeccable. And it turns out that he totally grew up in the United States. His wife lives in Ohio. He has kids in Ohio, and he was deported. So he was just, in his mind, going back home. That night, though, it was really cold. The weather was harsh when we were there, and we were in the desert. And as we left, I couldn't help but almost hope that they didn't make it, hope that they got detained by Border Patrol, because I couldn't help but think, are they going to die? I mean, is one of them not going to make this journey? What do we do? It's such a dire situation. Anyway, my point is this is a journey that's not taken lightly, and the severity and the consequences are dire if they're unsuccessful at attempting. The final experience that touched me in a huge way was participating in a prayer vigil that's been going on every single Tuesday night for the last 10 years. This happened in Douglas, Arizona. We started at the local McDonald's, and for 6 city blocks, there were a few hundred crosses that had the names written on of people that had perished only in that county, in Cochise County. And some of the names had a death date, a birth date, there was information. Others simply just said no identificado. It was a body that was found. Some of them, they didn't even have a gender attached to it. Just found in the wilderness. So for 6 city blocks, the 10 or so of us that went on this trip would hold up the cross and proclaim the name of the person whose life that cross represented, and hold it up. And it took about half an hour, and 6 city blocks later, we ended at the border. We grouped into a circle, and Mark, the minister who runs the Frontera de Cristo Border Ministry, he held back 3 crosses, representing 3 people who had lost their lives on this journey. And we considered perhaps who they were. A beloved daughter, maybe a mother, maybe a wife, a 19-year-old, a 34-year-old. And as we held their crosses and passed them around in a circle, it's really ensured that they would not be forgotten. That somebody is praying and thinking about them every single week. We stood silenced at the sheer magnitude and gravity of this issue. The reality is that people die crossing that desert all the time. And I wish that we would sort of think about that and have that inform our perspective as we talk about the immigration issue. You know, it's a strange thing to encounter so many biblical things in such a literal way. To be in an actual desert and to think about what a wilderness experience is and means and implies is strange. I mean, it takes on a new meaning. To stand in front of an actual wall and to consider what the Bible says about walls, building walls, tearing walls down, it's pretty profound. And to hold a cross with a real person's name on it and to ponder sacrifice and death. All of these combined really made this trip a profoundly spiritual experience for me, and it helped me understand immigration on a personal